the Circular Cups for Community Events, which was launched by Minister Alan Dillon. It's Ireland's pioneering initiative to eliminate single-use waste at local events. Developed by the Southern Region Waste Planning Office and local authorities, it offers not-for-profit groups easy, affordable access to high-quality reusable cups. And for more on this and to discuss the local impact, I'm joined in studio by the Council's Environmental Awareness Officer, Karen Foley, who's back with us. Karen, good morning to you.
Good morning, Alan.
Thanks very much for coming in again. Can you just explain a bit further for the listeners, Karen, the main goals of this new initiative?
Well, the main goal, as you said there, Alan, is to reduce single-use waste, and that comes with an awful lot of events and community events in particular. And a lot of it is, it's the local impact. There's the cost of the single-use cup, and then there's the disposal cost of it. And then, of course, as tidy towns say across the county, there's the littering impact from single use as well. So that's kind of the reasoning around it. It supports sustainable tourism. It's good in terms of a climate action. So it is a really good initiative to make our county more sustainable and to support the community voluntary groups across the county as well, because they are doing so much work on the ground, and this initiative will very much support local communities in delivering community festival and events in a sustainable manner.
And I suppose from the littering aspect, if it can help in that regard, it's got to be good, because when we speak about littering, and indeed when we speak to IBAL, Irish Business Against Litter, about their various reports that they do, one of the common things, I suppose, in more recent years, vapes have really risen up the charts of items that are most often discarded, but coffee cups still feature prominently.
They do, absolutely. And initiatives like this kind of raise awareness around other waste types as well. So the knock-on can be a reduction of littering, a reduction of legal dumping in a community, because it's a positive thing to do. And, lots of people have been at events where cups, deposit return schemes are in place, and the festival really, or the event gets really good feedback on it. But certainly this initiative is for the non-for-profit, it's for community groups. And so what happens is, Alan, is that groups can apply for the cups online at mywaste.ie, and they will get the cups delivered, and they'll get them collected again, and they'll also get them washed and dried. So the new facility, it's based in Cork in IRD Duhallow. It's a local development company in Cork, and they have that new facility in place. So when you wash plastics in a dishwasher and they come out and they still can be kind of wet. So the idea is that this machine will dry it, and it can be safely stored away, because if it's wet it can harbour bacteria, and then there's a health and safety risk with it. So that's all been brought into the project, and that's why it was developed, really, so that cups could be delivered to communities and used straight away. They don't have to worry about washing them again. They're safe to use, and then they'll be collected. Yeah,
well aware how wet plastics can get, of plastic cups for our kids, and they're always soaking still coming out of the dishwasher. So how will this cup rental and washing service support the National Waste Management Plan for a Circular Economy, particularly that targeted 20 kilos of reuse per person per year?
Yeah, and the other target is that we have 0% waste growth through the lifetime of the plan. So we want to stop the increase of waste, of overconsumption and single use. I think it's something like, 200 million cups a year are used in Ireland. Single use cups are used in Ireland. So we're looking at reducing that and doing as many initiatives as possible to help reduce it. So you're looking at reuse, repair, upcycling. You're looking at it's the circular economy, recycling more, putting less in your general waste bin. So all these initiatives will help, reduce the consumption, keep waste growth as it is. We don't want it to grow anymore, but certainly, try and achieve that target of limiting the amount of waste we generate in a household or as a person.
But of course, even with plastic cups and cutlery and all that kind of stuff, Karen, there is a limit to, you can't just reuse them indefinitely. So is there a target or a limit in terms of is it a couple hundred times each cup can be reused up to?
Well, they say up to 300 times, so that'll probably that's a lot of times, and then you'll have a certain amount of loss within the system as well. So they'll continue to be replaced throughout the project as well. So so we'd imagine I wouldn't see many of the cups being thrown away. I say most of them will be used, and that's another important part of the initiative as well, Alan, is that if you're using the cup at a festival or event, it's been returned. It's not been kept as a souvenir, so it is being reused, and that's where the environmental benefit comes in. So it's not going into somebody's press at home and not being used. Yeah,
it is getting used again. And so you mentioned events and festivals and so on. Who exactly is eligible to avail of this cup rental service, and why was it important to focus on not-for-profit community events?
It's the bigger, if it's an event organizer, they're making money, they can put money into getting it done privately, so it's just to support communities who spend a lot of time volunteering to deliver this. So it's to give it to them at a nominal fee, and that they can deliver on the ground and take action on the ground with the support of the local authority. And look, I'd love to see, things, sports clubs, blitzes, that kind of thing, local events, even communions, anything within a community. And you can go bigger scale, but you can also go smaller scale. So it doesn't have to be a big event. We're trying to hit the smaller local events as well. So like parents associations, you see in every community that, GA clubs working with parents associations, working with the school, working with the local hall. Yeah. It's a whole community thing. So it's to let everybody know that it's there and you can avail of it. So if you're a community volunteer helping out with a bigger festival, you could be the local Tidy Towns group, could be the group that applies for them and provides them to the festival or event. And I know, because we were discussing it amongst ourselves as environmental awareness officers, and there is with festivals, there is a certain amount of profit making involved. You have the stalls and they're selling things, so it's not about that. It's about the community group working with the local festival or local event, or even a run. You see lots of runs and things like that as well. And it's all about, supporting and reducing the amount of waste generated and waste associated with these events that can have an impact on the local environment. And of course, we want to support a circular economy by reusing as much as possible and reducing the amount of single use that we have. And unfortunately as well, Alan, and a lot of people aren't aware that a lot of the single-use cups are compostable. So these can't go in a recycling bin. They have to go into a food waste bin to get the environmental benefit. But there are challenges in a lot of single-use compostable waste going into the food waste stream for the processors of the food waste and compostables. So large volumes really aren't suitable for composting.
And it's important to highlight that, because some people would put their, the single-use coffee cups into their plastic, cardboard, paper recycling. You see when they go in there, when maybe it should be compostable and vice versa. Just on the cups themselves, Karen, are there different types of cups available through the scheme, or is it a one-size-fits-all? So, no, there's different types. Okay, so there's the pint cup, okay, and there's lots of those available. There's half pint. They'd
be needed at the festivals. Exactly. But then there's half pint cups, which can be suitable for kids' juices and that kind of thing. And then we have the drink cups, the coffee cup or tea cup, and they come with a lid or without a lid. So it covers the range of what's needed at a local community festival and event. And a lot of our events wouldn't be, alcohol, there wouldn't be alcohol at it. So it's for all types of events. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And have you been receiving any feedback so far, Karen, from event organisers who've been availing of it? Or?
Well, it's just launched, so I'm hoping to hear from lots of groups around the county, and I can be contacted at greenerclare@clarecoco.ie if anybody wants to get in touch, and I can chat through what's involved. It's streamlined very well online. If it's a smaller community or event, you can email ird.hello and order, smaller amounts. If it's larger amounts, then it can be ordered online and you can select the date and everything. So if you are a community, if you are a volunteer and in a community, I'd urge you to book them as soon as possible, because I suppose there is a limited amount available as well, and summertime there can be a high demand at certain times of year as well.
Yeah, natural enough when you're talking about events and festivals that summer would feature prominently. Is this something, and as you say, it's just launched, but would you be hopeful, more hopeful than not, that this is the kind of initiative that's going to expand into the future, maybe to include larger events or perhaps even additional reusable items, like I was mentioning cutlery around, for example, or plates? Or
Yeah. So look, this is a start. Clare County Council in what's called the Southern Waste Region. So there's 11 local authorities. So it's we're first out to deliver this kind of project within our local authority areas. So it's very much a learning process as well, and it's something that certainly can be added to in terms of plates and cutlery and all that. But it's very exciting, and I look forward to hearing from all the different types of groups, from the smaller festivals to the bigger festivals as well. It's a great opportunity for local community groups to get involved and support circular communities across the county.
Okay, a really interesting initiative. I'll be interested to see how it grows. Karen Foley, the Environmental Awareness Officer with Clare County Council. Karen, thank you once again for joining us.